Hello, John Paval here with the Access Arts Live weekly roundup of organ recital live streams for you. We will give you all the dates, times, and live links in the comments section. And as far as we know, all of these recitals this week are free of charge. So you have no excuse for not tuning into them. But let's start out right away because we have one practically every day of the week to go through. The first of these organ recitals is coming up very soon, today, Tuesday, October 22nd, at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, coming from St. James Cathedral in Toronto. That's 1 o'clock on the East Coast. It's 10 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast and 7 o'clock in the evening here in Europe. I am live streaming from Paris, France. Eat your hearts out. Anyway, the organist for this first live stream of the week is Ian Sadler, who's the organist and director of music at St. Paul's Cathedral, London, Ontario, formerly was the organist at St. James, Toronto itself. He's also the artistic director and conductor of the Cathedral Singers of Ontario, a former Juno Award winner. That's the Canadian awards. Interesting story. He's from the UK originally, started out as a choir boy at St. Paul's Cathedral, London, went to Trinity College, the Royal College of Organists, and ended up back as an organ scholar at St. Paul's. And before he left London, moved to Canada, he also played the organ in the movie Chariots of Fire. He has commissioned, premiered just a good number of choral and organ works by Canadian composers. He's become a great promoter of Canadian music. His tours have taken him all over Europe. He works with a lot of Canadian choirs, you know, when they're doing the Messiah or the Bach Christmas Oratorio, that sort of thing. And he received the award of the Fellowship of the Royal Canadian College of Organists. Why am I talking so much about him? Well, because I don't have his program. I can't talk about his program. I can tell you the organ at St. James, Toronto is an 87 ranks, 67 speaking stops organ with 4 manuals, over 6 divisions, and a little over 5,000 pipes. It's an S.R. Warren organ, first built in 1863, rebuilt by Cassavant Frères in 1936 and 1966, rebuilt again in 1976 by L.I. Phelps and Associates. That's today. Tomorrow, from the Temple Church, Thomas Allery will be, and by the way, we give you with the links, we give you the link to watch that live stream, but we also give you the link to more detailed specs on the organ, which we repost this live stream to about a dozen organ loving groups on Facebook. So we would like to give you something to sink your teeth into. Before I continue, I wanted to show you a picture of Ian Sadler. So you know who I was talking about. There he is. There's the man himself, distinguished. He has had a long career, and he is well honored by organists all across Canada. Next up is Thomas Allery. And Thomas Allery is a younger guy, as you can see. He'll be playing at the Temple Church, London, tomorrow, Wednesday, 1:15 UK time, which nobody else in Europe has, 2:15 for the rest of Europe, Central European time, 8:15 in the morning on the East Coast, 5:15 on the West Coast. I doubt you get up that early, but a lovely 10:15 in the evening down under in Australia if you'd like a late night organ concert. Allery is actually the music director at the Temple Church. He's very active as a choir conductor and also as a harpsichordist. In fact, if you go to his website, we'll give you the link. He introduces himself more as a conductor than as an organist. He's also director of music and organist at St. Mary Le Beau Church in Cheapside, which is a Wren church in the Christopher Wren Church in the heart of the city of London. He got his bachelor's in music at Oxford and then went to the Royal College of Music for his master's. He also plays with the Ensemble Hesperie, which is a leading group playing at lots of music festivals around Europe. Once again, why am I talking so much about him? because I don't have his program either. But the organ is a Harrison and Harrison organ that they built, designed, and installed in 1954. It's a 4-manual organ complete with 3 32-feet stops. That's right, 3 of them. So we'll give you the link to the more of the specs for that organ too. Now, I'm also happy to announce we have a completely new organ at a completely new church to tell you about this week. The Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. We're very limited sometimes in what we're able to tell you about live stream because I have no Cyrillic alphabet. Well, that's not true. I did do classics at Stanford University. So if it's Greek Cyrillics, I can read it, but not the other Cyrillic alphabets. I don't know what they are about. Anyway, this is coming from the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. Yes, there are Catholics in Moscow. It's a concert called From Bach to Schnittke, and it's organ and trombone, but I'm putting it here in this organ category because the organist is Alexander Fiseevsky, who is he's the head of the organ department at the Canon Academy of Music. If you know about Russian music instruction, you know the Canon is the top of the mountain. And he's an honored artist of Russia, which these things are important in Russia. And the trombonist is Dmitry Sharov, who's also an honored artist of Russia. Their program, I can't give you a lot of detail because, like I told you, I don't have any Cyrillic alphabet. But they'll be playing some traditional Bach. They'll be playing Prayer Without Words by Prince Vladimir Odoyevsky. For those of you who know Russian organ music, then you know this better than I do. They'll be playing also some compositions by Schnittke and Goubet de Lina, which we are told are mystical compositions, and also some works by Zippoli, Marcello, Mendelssohn, and Berlioz. So if you want to hear some music coming from the Russians, well, this is your chance to do so. And that will be at 7 o'clock European time, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, and 10 o'clock on the West Coast. So it's an hour earlier than the Temple Church live stream. No, wait. No. It's like 6 hours later, 5-6 hours later than the Temple Church. So you can watch both of those. Then on Thursday, the Truro Cathedral. It was supposed to be Jeremy Wan, who's their organ scholar, but he had to beg off because of an injury. So it's Andrew Wyatt, who's the assistant director of music at the Truro Cathedral, the director of St. Mary's Singers, and an honorary member of the Birmingham Conservatoire, playing the fabulous Father Willis organ there, which was built in London and then transported by ship up to Truro Cathedral back in the 1860s. It's supposedly almost identical with the one at Coventry Cathedral. He'll be playing Bach Prelude and Fugue in C, 2 pieces by Vierne, Clair de Lune from 24 Pièces de Fantaisie, and an Allegro from Symphony No. 2 by Louis Vierne. Then he'll be playing Inglot's The Leaves Be Green and Alain's Lamento. I'll be talking to you more about Alain because you can hear a lot of them coming up on Sunday at the St. Eustache Cathedral. We move on until Friday. I keep losing track of whose picture I have up there for you. I failed to give you the picture of Andrew Wyatt. There's Andrew Wyatt, who's the assistant music director there. And I also failed to show you the picture of Alexander Fiseevsky. Hold on, there he is there. Very distinguished older guy. And we seem to be flipping up and back between Sadler, who's older, and Allery, who's younger, and then Fiseevsky, who's older, and then Wyatt, who's younger. And then coming up, most interesting of all, Friday night from the Bergamo International Organ Festival, a terrific program. On Friday night, the Bergamo International Organ Festival will be presenting, live streaming, free of charge, a unique concert by Olivier Vernet and Cédric Meckler, 2 French organists, also known as the duo Vernet-Meckler. Let me show you a picture of these 2 guys at the keyboards. there they are. They will be playing music which you either haven't heard before or that you haven't heard it played this week. They'll be playing Bach's concert for 2 organs. They'll be playing Bach's sonata for 4 hands in F major. They'll be playing Bach's Ciacona from the Partita for Violin No. 2 in D minor in an arrangement that they themselves made for 4-hand organ from piano versions by Mendelssohn and Schumann. And they'll be playing Paul Ducas's Symphonic Scherzo, also known to those in the West, and perhaps also in other countries as The Sorcerer's Apprentice. It's an arrangement, again, by Vernet Meckler for 4-hand organ from the author's version for 2 pianos. And finally, they'll be doing Ravel's Bolero, which is, again, a Vernet Meckler 4-hand organ version adapted from the author's version for 2 pianos. Vernet Meckler are an incredible pair. They've been playing together since 2006. They recorded all of Mozart's organ works. They recorded all of Mendelssohn's organ works. They recorded all of Gabe's complete organ works and Bach's complete solo organ works as arranged by Olivier Vernet of Vernet Meckler. And they also have recorded some pieces which were especially written for a Cavalier coal organ in Lunel, France. And they have received awards for all of these recordings. And they also spend a lot of time doing research and development of the repertoire of organ duets. Now, I wasn't going to go on and talk to you about the 2 of them as individuals, but then I saw this about Meckler, and I have to let you know, he has a doctorate in medicine and a doctorate in neuroscience. This guy is awfully French. The French are so smart besides being talented. And he was a medical officer, a colonel in the French military at the Institut de Recherche Biomédicale des Armées, at the Institute of Biomedical Research of the Army, the French Army. And he did a thesis at the Claude Bernard University of Lyon about the mental illness of Robert Schumann. And then another thesis for his neuroscience degree, where he focused on the study of brain activity linked to the control of motor activities, particularly during musical performances. I mean, you know, I love the French because they are so they think so much and they do so much. Anyway, as for Vernet is a pure organist. He's recorded over 100 CDs, and he's received awards from the Diapason d'Or, the Choc du Monde de la Musique, and from Télérama, which is a big French, how would you call it, a publication about the performing arts. So I commend that recital to you. It's let me get the time right. It's always at 9:00 on Friday evenings, which is 3:00 in the afternoon on the East Coast and noon on the West Coast. 5:00 in the morning in Australia. But I tell you, it might be worth getting up early or staying up late for this, because this one will be wild. If you want more details about the 2 different organs that will have available to them to play, because some of these pieces they will play on different organs or on 2 organs, we give you the link to the festival program, which gives you a lot more detail about the duo, each of them individually, and the specs for the organs involved. So that's on Friday night at 9:00 European time, 3 and noon on the East and West Coast. Now at 10:00 European time, 1 and 4 on the West and East Coast in the U.S., Canon Martin Green gives his weekly recital at St. Paul's Episcopal Church or Cathedral in San Diego. It's always highly interesting. The guy's very articulate. He's very experienced. His musical knowledge is encyclopedic, and he just gives very highly interesting presentations of them during the intermission of the Vernet Meckler recital, you might want to jump over on YouTube to check out and see what Canon Martin Green is doing. And now, let me finish up with this showman at the organ, whom I love, Baptiste-Florian, Marle-Ouvrard, who's the main guy. You guys can't see the pictures on Instagram because, like I said, you don't integrate with my multi-stream platform. But Marle-Ouvrard, it shows him like so lolling around on top of an organ. But anyway, Marle-Ouvrard is the chief, the organiste titulaire at Saint Eustache Church in the heart of Paris, and I may attend this particular recital in person since I'm in Paris these days, because it's all going to be music by this guy. Yehan, if I'm even pronouncing that right, it's a French name, but I'm not sure. Yehan Alain, who only lived about, from 1911 till 1940. So that's not a long time. It's about 30 years or so. And Marle-Ouvrard will be playing three pieces by him, three selections. He'll be playing trois danses, joie, deuil, and lutte. That's joy. That's three dances: joyful, mourning, and battles. And then variations on a theme by Clément Jeannequin, and then litanies. And Jehan Alain is a noted French organist and composer, born in Saint-Germain-en-Laye in 1911, and he died at the Battle of Saumur, fighting for France on 20th June 1940. And in the process, a brilliant composer and a great organist was lost. He left behind some children and a wife. There's a Jehan Alain Society in Switzerland, which owns the. He came from a musical family. His father was an organ builder, among other things, and so there's this Jehan Alain Society in Switzerland, which owns the 4-manual 43-stop organ, which Alain's father built in their home from 1910 until 1971. And it's been restored and can be played. And it's at a former Clunisian monastery up in Romain-Moutier, Switzerland. So I commend that to you. That's at, if you're interested in, particularly if you're interested in Jehan Alain. And that weekly live stream is every Sunday at 5 in the evening European time, 11 in the morning on the East Coast, 8 o'clock on the West Coast, and the late night 1 a.m. In down under in Australia. Well, these organ recital roundups used to take me at most 15 minutes, but there's so much going on, and the people are so interesting that we're almost at 20 minutes, and I hope that's not without interest to you. I'll remind you, subscribe to Access Arts Live on YouTube or Facebook, and we'll make sure that you know about any and all organ live streams we can find out about, and also about all the other live streams of the performing arts, because I am passionately devoted to promoting as much of the performing arts online for as large audiences as possible, because I think it's good for humanity. So I hope you enjoy some of them. Most of them are on streaming live on YouTube. If the comment section is open, look for Access Arts Live there, and log into that chat box on YouTube and say hello. I'd love to hear from you if we're the ones who brought you to hear any of these concerts. And even if I'm not there for any reason, you can always go in the comment section and let the moderators there know that Access Arts Live directed you to their live stream. Have a great week. Enjoy this music. Remember, whenever you're watching a live stream, there's a living, breathing artist who's putting his heart, mind and soul into an act of love to create truth and beauty for you to experience. You, together with everybody else in that audience, those present and those enjoying it remotely. And that is a virtually sacred aspect of our common humanity. Ciao for now.